Black Ice Chronicles massive. This is crazy day. What am I going to talk about today? What I'm going to talk about is Malia Obama getting caught up on video, apparently looking like she's smoking weed. I have a story about that. I want to tell a story because it's very important. This is going to tie in. It's going to be a story about myself. I was never caught smoking weed because I never smoked weed. So that's one thing. But back in my high school days, I graduated from Trinity High School. And my sophomore year, the freshman year and sophomore year, there was a talent show. There were two different talent shows. First year it was during the day, and then the next one, they decided they would have it in the evening at night at the school, in the school auditorium, which also was the gymnasium at Trinity High School, Garfield Heights, Ohio. Okay, so I had this local rapper that I was producing. This is my sophomore year in high school. I'm producing already. And, you know, we had worked out the act, and it was a timing act, meaning that the beat would drop out, and then we had practiced it, and then it was like a 5, 6, 7, 8 count, and then he knew to drop right on the beat, right? He had two people that were in his crew, but they didn't want to be bothered with rehearsal, so I really worked it out with him, right? Because the other two didn't want to be involved. So all of a sudden, the night of the show, these two dudes wanted to be involved, and they wanted to be involved, and they hadn't practiced or anything, and he wasn't strong enough to go on ahead and say, well, you know, we practiced this, and you know, and me, you know, I don't care as long as you get up there and you're able to produce. That's the only thing that I care about, really. In the end, it's about following through about what you say. If you say you can do it, you can do it. So they got up there. So we had made the beat. It was a timing beat. So one of the members in the group was a beatboxer, so-called beatboxer. So when the beat dropped out, he started beatboxing, and then when the beat came in, the whole thing was off. I mean, like, the timing was off and everything. So then the crowd began to, you know, chuckle and laugh, and then the same guy who was the beatboxer started acting crazy and started just emptying shit from out of his pockets. Now, I had made sure that we were the closing act of it, you know, because, you know, the headliners always go last. Nowadays, I go first, because the headliners usually are at the end when night falls and everybody went home, so we make sure we go first. But anyway, that was in my music days. But now, you know, it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other, whatever. So he started just spitting stuff, money clip, different shit from out his pockets. You know, he just started acting crazy and twisting his head around, throwing his shit out. So this person who was a teacher, now Trinity High School was a predominantly white high school, right? It was a Catholic school. Trinity High School, predominantly white. And, you know, it was like maybe 6 of us in the graduating class when we graduated, 6 of us, and then, you know, each class. But this is my sophomore year, so of course we have the juniors and the seniors, and there's more of them. Of course, the freshmen, they have more in their class, so that probably made up the 1.2% of black that was there at the schoolhouse, right? But I was bringing hip-hop in. Now I hear that there's nothing but hip-hop being played at the dances now, but back then we had to hear rock and roll, rock, heavy metal, and the funky chicken. People who went to Trinity, you know what I'm talking about. Polish. But anyway, so he tossed all these things out, and this person, it was a teacher there that I had never seen. I never saw him, but he was just being like the chaperone along with the main teacher that was holding the event. He was like a chaperone. So they toss out, and then this shuts the whole thing down. Like, people get excited, the white folks get excited, and he comes run up on stage and says, "Monday morning, I'm writing you up." He's talking to me. You know, I'm the one that go to the high school. The other dudes, they didn't go to Trinity. He went to a school that rhymed with Trinity. But anyway, he's telling me that he's gonna write me up, you know. So my sister was at the talent show, right? So she catches this dude out in the hallway, because it's a little hallway that led to the outside, or you would go up some steps to go into the main building, which were the classrooms. It was 3 floors of classroom. He catches him out in the hallway outside the gymnasium auditorium. He was headed out, so she stops him and she says, "Why are you talking about writing my brother up? Did you see him acting any kind of sporadic or erratic way?" And he says, now again, mind you, let me set this up. I have never seen this dude until the chaperone day. In other words, he was invisible to me. Because the type of person I am, I walk with my head up. I know about taking care of my business. So if you're not in my direct cipher of people who I communicate with, speak with, teachers that I spoke with, students that I spoke with, administrators that I spoke with, I didn't see you, right? But here he goes. He says, it's just the way that he walks in the hallway. He says, it's just the way he looks. It's just his demeanor in the hallway. Now, I've never even seen this guy, right? But this guy was about 6, now I'm 6'4". He was about 6'6", maybe 375 pounds, chubby white dude with a Waldo haircut, right? And he's telling me that for some reason, I've never even had any interaction with this guy, that I'm intimidating to this guy. Like, he's gonna write me up on Monday morning. Now, I don't get into any trouble in high school at all. You know, not one of those people. Now, I was pro-black in my high school. Yes, anyone who knows that I was pro-black and that I toed the line. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't picking on anyone. I didn't do any of that dumb shit, right? So for this guy, this person's supposed to be a teacher or whatever he was. He was a teacher, but I never had him for any classes. And he's talking about he's going to write me up on Monday morning. So my sister say, what would make you think, what does he do in the hallway that makes you say that? And he said, it's just the way he looks. It's just so. My point in all this is, you don't have to have done anything to a white person. If they have a deficiency due to lack of exposure, meaning that they lived in all white segregated neighborhoods in Cleveland and the surrounding suburbs, and they come in contact with a upstanding, head up high, no nonsense black man, no matter how old he is, if he's 16, 17, or 27, or 57, or 87, or 107, they're going to have something against you. So that's my point about Malia Obama. There are a lot of white people who are against her just because of who she is. Now, you add in the treachery that throughout history, if you just read his story, you will see the treachery of white people when they say that they're your friends. When they say that they're your friends, they will treat you even worse. This person who was supposed to be her friend videotapes her and then puts it out for the world to see and tries to make money off of it. So that's my point in the story that I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if you're minding your own business or if you're supposed to be cool with white people when they are white supremacists. They will try to do you in. So to close out the story about me and this person, I didn't notice him before, but I noticed him afterwards, and he only lasted at Trinity for one school year. After that, they must have busted him out for some reason. I don't know why. But I noticed him afterwards, and I would see him, and he would wear black sunglasses all the time because he was just a weirdo. He was Waldo the weirdo in my estimation. So to close on my story, my sister did my father's thing. She said, well, if there's no problem, then you two can shake hands and there'd be no problem. So we shook hands. Then Monday morning I didn't get written up or anything like that, but it just goes to show that I was learning those lessons a long time ago, and maybe her parents should have taught her those lessons too, that in most cases people who are white supremacists, they are envious and jealous of an upstanding individual that is a black person. And so that's my story. That's my point. That's what I wanted to talk about today. You know, put the shit together, figure it out, you know. But anyway, the BLKICE Chronicles.